Our next story comes from Senegal. It is home to about 17 million people. It is part of West Africa and one of its most stable democracies. Senegal is the only West African nation that has never had a military coup. It has never delayed a presidential election. That is, until now. The country was going to polls in 3 weeks, but yesterday lawmakers passed a contentious bill. They extended the tenure of President Macky Sall and pushed elections to December 15th. And just as the postponement was being announced, protesters marched across the capital of Dakar, calling for a reversal and clashing with the police. Now, Senegal faces a critical test of its democratic integrity. Here's a report.
Unrest gripped the parliament, just as violence and clashes erupted right outside. This is the current state of West Africa's last bastion of democracy, Senegal. It's home to about 17 million people. For years, it has been one of the most stable democracies in the usually unstable region of West Africa. Senegal is the only country here that has never had a military coup. It has seen 3 handovers of power. All were largely peaceful. It has never delayed a presidential election. That is, until now. It was supposed to hold elections in 3 weeks, but that wasn't to be. Yesterday, lawmakers passed a contentious bill. They delayed elections by 10 months to the 15th of December and extended the tenure of the current president, Macky Sall. This came after a heated discussion in the parliament. Before the vote, some opposition leaders were removed, and after it, the opposition urged people to protest. They vowed to go to court, calling the delay a constitutional coup.
Senegalese people, you have in front of you the enemies of the nation. They will ask for a contrary opinion on what has just been done. This is a constitutional coup. You should be ashamed.
So just as the bill was being passed inside the parliament, violence erupted outside. Hundreds took to the streets, clashed with the police. Tear gas was fired and access to internet services was restricted.
That's why we want all the people of Senegal to come here and to protest peacefully, we say, so that this awful ambition will not take place in this country. We deserve freedom. We have been a peaceful country, democratic country, and this president is not allowed to take our freedom just for free.
Tensions have been brewing for years now. The opposition has often claimed their candidates were unlawfully charged with crimes. One major opposition party has even been banned. Anger has been growing towards the president, and now it seems to have erupted.
We are only defending ourselves. He meddles with the constitution. He meddles with the newspapers. He meddles with the population. He does everything he can to put us in a difficult position. I say it and I repeat it once again. We are not fighting for a simple cause. We are fighting for freedom.
Macky Sall was first elected in 2012. He came to power again in 2019. In Senegal, a president serves a term of 5 years and is limited to 2 consecutive terms. Critics claim the polls were postponed for political gain. But Sall has not disclosed ambitions for a 3rd term in office. He reiterated the same this week to calm tempers.
For my part, my solemn undertaking not to stand in the presidential election remains unchanged.
But the people of Senegal are not buying his claim.
Macky Sall must go. The youth of the country gave him power and today he uses force to fight us. This servitude must end.
Now Senegal is on the brink and its democratic credentials hang in the balance. The country is facing a critical test of democratic integrity. And only time will tell if the last bastion of democracy becomes the newest headache of West Africa.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.